Hey guys, it's me, Musashima, and today we're going to be looking at a replay from a ladder game which I played very recently, where I was sat with a group of friends and I thought I'd have a bit of fun messing around, and I went for something. If any of you ever watched a streamer called Fenner, you may recognise as the Dongler build, which is basically where you go and make a proxy hatch near their natural, and drop a load of spines on it, get a couple of queens, spread creep sort of all the way up to their base, and then just attack their sort of first buildings and troops with spine crawlers and kill them that way. Now, unfortunately, this guy ends up scouting it, and that means that I can't get away with it. So you can see here I'm sending off this drone to start with, try and start something over here and sort of work my way up towards the base. But obviously his pylon's there, he spotted me. I know it's not going to work. It's a real shame. So what I decided to do was try and put it over here instead. Maybe, you know, I think maybe this probe won't end up following me, but he does, and he sees it. So I have to switch it up a bit. So I tried something which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but ends up being really funny and actually working quite well. So obviously, look, he's found me here. It's a real pain. I have to cancel it, and I decide instead, because now I think he's expecting me to be very aggressive or very all-in, to go very, very greedy. So what I do now is I open up 4 hatcheries total before I then build a spawning pool. I know it's an old sort of technique to go 3 hatch before pool against Protoss in some situations, but this time I think, you know what, I've probably already lost because my build order has been rubbish. I've been trying to do something cheesy and stupid, so I might as well just, you know, go big or go home. So you can see me now dropping this second, and obviously here we go for the third base. I'm going to send this guy up here as well and open up my 4th too. Now, if they scout this in any way, you're just dead. You're totally dead. They just built a handful of gateway units. They come across and they just eat your brains. But if you get away with it for a couple of minutes or so, manage to get a few drones sort of mining on each one, your economy lead will be so high that you'll be able to build masses and masses of units very quickly and counter anything he does. So you can see he's coming in here, doing a bit of a scout. He sees me taking gas. He assumes I'm going to drop a spawning pool now, obviously, and he reacts by going and opening up his 3rd base. Oh no, he's scouting. That's not what he's doing. Sorry. No, he's obviously scouting to see if I'm trying to proxy hatch here or do any sort of weird shenanigans with some creep. So basically all I'm doing now is just droning up. All I'm going to do for a while is drone up here. Obviously I've got my overlord in placement here. I've seen he's got double gateway. I've also seen he's just dropped the natural, so I know that I've probably got no real aggression coming to me anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is basically just drone up, be patient, and have a little scout, see what's going on. So all in all, it's actually going quite well. I know he scouted my natural, but he hasn't scouted I've got a 3rd, and he hasn't checked either of these locations here. Now, if you're going to take a 3rd versus Protoss normally, I recommend you take this base here. The reason for that is if you take any sort of engagement here, it's very easy to get force fielded out, and it's sort of quite a bad choke point to engage as a Zerg army. So keep that in mind. We can see now, look, he's made a handful of adepts, which obviously are very, very good units right now. And he's sending them over. I don't think 3 at 3 minutes is normal. I don't know whether you'd normally see 4 or more than that, but he's obviously sitting and doing a bit of damage. Now, as you can see, I'm not prepared for this at all. I don't even have a Roach Warren down yet because I've just been greedy as you like. So I'm surprised I don't lose a lot more than I do lose here. As soon as I see him coming, obviously, I make a load of lings. Ling speed is not even half done, so I'm going to have to defend this with slow lings and queens, unfortunately. And you can see there, look, his lings over here with his shade. And at the moment, I've only got a handful of lings, but I don't know. I don't want to say my opponent isn't very good. I'm sure he's a very good player, but he was probably concentrating on something else because his micro at this point with these units was not very good, which allowed me to obviously run in with a handful of slow lings and get the job done, which was quite nice. Now, obviously, the first thing I'm doing is dropping a baneling nest, just because I think, you know, if he's going to build a ton of units, a few banelings wouldn't go amiss. I suppose I'm not dropping a roach. I think maybe I meant to build a roach warren there. I'm not 100%. I can't remember. This game was a couple of weeks ago, so a week ago. So yeah, I'm not 100%. I build some more lings because I feel like if there's any more aggression, that might be a good thing to do. I see the Twilight Council being built, so I actually think he's switching into Blink Stalkers, but he's not. He's doing Resonating Glaives, so he's going sort of more in on the Adepts here. And what are we doing now? So yeah, you can see there's not I haven't got really many drones on my 3rd and 4th, so that's kind of due to the fact that I definitely overproduced lings. This is far too many considering the aggression I got. You know, half that would have been absolutely ample to defend against 2 or 3 adepts, especially with queens in as well. So what I'm going to do now, obviously I've dropped the roach and warren now. I'm going to have a little scout with my speedlings and see what's going on. Start to drone out, get some extra queens, spread some creep. All in all, you can tell that my build order has not been very refined. I'm kind of definitely just making it up, you know, flying by the seat of my pants, really. The one good thing it looks like I am doing this game is I'm managing to spam my minerals quite well. They're starting to stack up a little bit now that I've said that, of course, as they naturally would. And yeah, just now slowly building up my drones. I'm not sure what he's doing here. I mean, I think he's not producing a ton of armies. What, he's got 3... here we go now. So yeah, so he's dropping a robo bay and 5 more gateways, it looks like. So he's obviously going to start mass producing army units now. So that's his idea, some sort of 2-base push, timing push, I assume. Has he got a forge cooking away? He doesn't actually, so yeah, not sure that's right. And he's got a Stargate as well. Not sure exactly what build it is, maybe a couple of void rays or something like that. I can't actually remember what happens slightly later in the game. But yeah, so I'm just droning up. Not as much as I should be by the looks of things. I'm managing to spend all my minerals though, so I must be taking something. Here we go, I'm going for 1-1 upgrades on the roaches. Think about getting a Hydra nest as well, after I scout the Stargate in a minute, I think. One thing I really like to get at the moment is Overlord speed. I tend to get it in all games, at least versus Terran and Protoss. I find that the scouting with the initial Overlords without losing them is kind of really important, because obviously if you get supply capped early in the build order, that's really, really detrimental to your game. So just having a look around, not much going on here. Now I'm scouting through, so obviously I see all the gateways, I see the Stargate, I see the Warp Prism, and I also see the Robo facility going there. So all I'm going to do now is produce some roaches for defense. So I know the Warp Prism's coming. Thankfully I've seen him flying away. I caught him with my Overseer just before he left. And this is when he first scouts my 3rd, or I don't know if he knows it's my 4th. But basically I've got a lot of minerals right now, and I've got a lot of things mining. So I see, obviously, he flies straight over the base there, bringing the roaches and lings over as fast as I can, try and sweep up this attack. And obviously it's going quite well right now. So I've obviously got the Hydra nest down in response to seeing the Stargate. I figure he's going to go down there, so get the queens ready over here. Hydras pick off the Warp Prism there, which is very important, obviously, very key. Yeah. Now I haven't spotted this 3rd base yet. I don't know it's here, so I have no idea what this guy's economy is like. I assume he's still on 2 bases, which is why I'm being as greedy and slow as I am. Obviously, I've just spotted the Oracle now, so I send some Hydras over, try and get it cleared up. He kind of has a look here and then realises I'm going to toast him, and then I think he goes away, but the Hydra's just managed to close one out with the queens. It did go a fair few drones off that one. I probably should have been a bit quicker in switching my queen over. Here we go, he's sending another Warp Prism in. So this guy's like got nice stuff going on. He's sending lots of drops over, obviously to my... He's just hanging out there? Yeah, just hanging out there right now. So I'm just making more drones. Replacements for this. Yeah, filling up this base. I've got a small army now, so I'm going to send them over, and I'm going to take down his 3rd. Now I don't know that there is a 3rd here, and obviously we can see here he's just started building it, but I assume he's going for a 3rd this sort of time at least, if he hasn't got one already. So I'm going in, and this is what gives it away, guys. You've got to be careful about sending probes to bases before they're fully done. This completely gives away the fact that he's got another operating base over here, and that is just really, really detrimental to this game for him. So I wouldn't have known that was there. I probably wouldn't have even checked that spot. I would have scouted it later, maybe in a couple of minutes, but not for a while. So this is when I think I might be in trouble. All I've been doing is droning up. I've been making no more army units. I'm just sending out a little squad, go and get some stuff done. And I managed to take out the 4th base, which is obviously fantastic, and cancel the 3rd base, sorry, and cancel the 4th. Some Phoenixes come in, and now The rest of his army comes in, and I'm down in a corner on the slope, and I know that I'm absolute toast here. Look, he's just eating the Archon so strong, so good. The one thing I do have for me is 1-1 upgrades, and these guys don't have upgrades yet. Basically, my whole army just gets absolutely eaten, and I'm thinking, oh no, he's going to walk over and absolutely crush me now. And all I have is a little handful of lings, so I figure I'm in a lot of trouble. So all I'm doing now is absolutely, in the true Zerg style, when his army moves out, producing as many army units as I can, rallying them all together in this spot, and it, as you can see in a minute, it's not very pretty. So this is all I have right now, and this is what he has. And the one thing I do have for me is upgrades, which if I didn't have, I would be absolutely, you know, dead as a doornail. So it's a good thing I have my upgrades on time this game. So as you can see, that he's picking up my queens, can't transfuse anything, my stuff's getting eaten, but thankfully I'm spawning new stuff all the time, it's all rallying in. Then he walks in a load more and I'm thinking, oh no, I just can't deal with it. I think he's just going to waltz through and kill me, but somehow I pull it back and it all looks like we're going downhill, we're toast, we're out of here. Rally everything back, group it together, bring it on, and there's just enough stuff and just enough angles to catch this guy and shred what's left of his stuff. And it looked like I was about to get beaten, but thankfully I had just enough gear to turn it around there. So now we're in a very good position. Obviously, we've got army left. We should have. Yeah. So we're not. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Popping hive tech now. Switching up. I need some more drones here. I haven't been managing my macro very well this game. It's funny when you have a game that you expect to run very short and then it suddenly changes and turns out into a long game. You've got to suddenly put your sort of different hat on. So here we go. I'm sending out units of stuff to try and take out, maybe have a look at taking out his 3rd or 4th base, try and deny that, because if I can stay ahead on 4 bases when he's on 2, obviously I'm just miles and miles ahead and he'll probably never catch me. So definitely thinking about moving over at this point. Taking it out, denying the 4th. Don't know if the 3rd's up yet, it is up again now. So yeah, it's just really, really key to deny that. The creep spread could have been better this game, it's something I could have definitely worked on as well. I should be sort of more advanced than I am now. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not very good. Yeah, I'm very cautious about going down here and engaging this base because I don't want to be caught out by his army like I was last time down the ramp. So obviously what I'm doing now is I'm just retreating, bring them all the way back, reinforce, you know, try and play a bit safer. Yeah, so they eat my queen. I kind of, you know, that's expected really. I'm switching, I think it's around now I decided to switch into lurkers. Yeah, there you go, so there's my lurker den. And obviously drop the ultra nest as well. Give a bit of a hand against the ground units. Ultras, in hindsight, not really the best for the composition he's playing right now with Archons and Phoenixes as well, but you know what, sometimes big things with chompy jaws just get the job done, especially when against unupgraded troops. So obviously my 2-2 has dropped. As far as I know, his units are still unupgraded, so any fight's probably not going to go very well for him. He scouts my 5th, and he comes over to get some damage done with the Phoenixes. Obviously, he does manage to pick a couple of queens. I send the Hydras over as quick as I can to try and get some damage done. But all it would take to take this game to the next level would be for me to build maybe a handful of lings and just get harassing on his 3rd and 4th whilst I'm sort of holding this off and then building my main army as well. So that's something to think about as Zerg. You should definitely be looking to multitask. Here I'm not doing it very well. I've kind of just built a big army and just running them around really slowly after the harassing units, which obviously is not a great thing to do. I think I'm trying to build a spore crawl. I end up building a spawning pool. There you go, yeah. I throw a couple of spores down just to be a bit more defensive. Lurker den's done. Ultralisk Cavern's done. Working on my melee upgrades now for any Zerglings or Ultralists that may be coming my way. I've been really lacking on creep spread. Look, we can see now it's not been very good. But what are you going to do? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Okay, so I'm going to build five lurkers. Lurkers are really good against Protoss. I really like to go for Lurkers most games. Considering Hydras are great too, so you kind of win-win in the early mid-game. Hydras are fantastic, and late-game Lurkers are really good. So it makes Hydras a lot more versatile unit that you can use throughout the game really, really well. So now I'm going to move up. Now that I've got the Lurkers, I'm all caught on a creep tumor there. Didn't realise that at the time. And yeah, just making sure my bases are operational. I've got enough drones going. Now what I decide to do here is try and make him think I'm doing the same stupid engagement as before, but obviously I burrow the Lurkers behind me so that when his army moves in they have to cross that first, which obviously will give me a big advantage because they'll take a lot of damage before they even get to me. So here you go, you can see he sees the Lurkers, does not want to engage there, so I just get basically a free take on that base, which is obviously really, really good. And even now his army is just not big enough to deal with what I've got at all, especially upgraded. I'm maxed out and he's 100 supply behind. But he knows it's game and that's GG. So that's what happens when you attempt to do the Dongler build and then go for 4 hatch before pool. I don't think it will work very often, but when it does, obviously it works very well. I think I got a bit lucky, and I think it was a pretty funny game all in all. Didn't turn out quite how I expected, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. That would be really helpful. Allow me to make more content for you guys, and hopefully I will catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you later. Take care.